Just making sure that the little things are taken care of, like getting our cleats in the dirt and just playing.
We have to do is make sure that we got our cleats on the ground before the ball is snapped. I think that's the key to the game, and make sure that
just get our cleats in the ground, execute calls, the urgency of communicating and getting lined up.
Yeah, you got to get your cleats in the ground and you got to go play.
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me? Yes, all right.
Teammates, feel safe to win. Play for makes breaks, one must always score. If it hurts, game breaks, no get you double it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, through the game, tap, this win it in. Press it again, we're here for the breaks made. Carry my team there for 6 minutes.
Headlights pierce patrols, blazing arrows, burning me to the marrow. But fire brings peace as well as it brings fear. You're the only thing I hear, and I want that. The songs howl like me, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit falls, unbroken past this inundated orb that we call home, and it's night and I'm alone and I'm alive. The dogs howl like me, poets at an arcade, soaking moonlit smashed and broken in the sea. When we wake up each cold morning and the birds sing their warning songs.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
I'm Dauber.
And I am Gabriel.
I'm excited, man. It's game week. It is game week. Are you guys fired up yet? Because we got a football game coming up on Friday. It seems like it has been an eternity, Dauber, since we've got to watch a little Tennessee football. And, I put out a tweet that we were going live tonight. And, yes, the team may look a little different. Some guys have opted out. Some guys are gone. Some guys are hurt. Some guys are suspended. Some guys are academically ineligible, allegedly. But that Power T is going to be on the helmet. I'm fired up, ready for some football, man.
Oh, I'm ready. Can't wait. Can't wait for Friday. Not wishing away the rest of my time off.
Do you want me to talk about my time off, Dauber?
No. But, hey, ready for some football. Ended the regular season with a big win over Vandy. But we all know what happened the week before. I've still got a little sour taste in my mouth from that South Carolina game. So what they do in the Orange Bowl against Clemson is really going to set the tone heading into 2023. So, it's a good preview for what looks ahead on the calendar with this team, possibly with Joe Milton at the helm, and see how things shake up. So I'm ready for it.
What do you think about that, Gabe? What do you think about is the Orange Bowl, is it icing on the cake for 2022, or is it a little preview of 2023?
Well, I think that what it is more of a preview. I think it needs to be more icing on the cake. And I think what we call it depends on what happens. If we win, it's icing on the cake. If we lose, then it's a preview for next year, and we know what we can improve on. I'm excited, but more than that, I'm just kind of interested to see what this team looks like. How this.
Sorry to cut you off, but you've already got the people saying it's Nico's team next year. You got the guys already throwing Joe under the bus, and he's not been given a full go. I mean, I know he had his chance last year and this and that, but
I don't think people understand that Nico and Joe Milton are different players, but they're kind of the same style of player. Like they're kind of the ultra physically gifted style of player. And a lot of people need to understand that like Nico is an excellent football player, and so is Joe Milton. But Nico has had in high school some of the same consistency issues that Joe Milton has had in college. They're very similar players. So I'm just telling y'all, Nico, as much as I'd love to see him on the field, I mean, gosh, I'd love to see the guy play. He's not the type of, plug and play guy that you might see, some other schools. Like he will take a year. And if he gets handed the reins at some point next year because neither Joe Milton nor Taven Jackson can make it work, then so be it. But I'm just saying he's sort of that same like freak of an athlete kind of guy. But I'm excited to see what Joe Milton can do in this game. Period.
So what you just told me, Gabe, is Dauber hates Nico. You hate Nico. You're gonna roll with Taven. And Dauber's he's gonna take my place with Joe, so I gotta roll with Nico. I gotta be the Nico guy on the channel. That's what I'm hearing. Hey, it's a fan calling show. Let's run down the chat. Always like to get some opening statements, and then let's run down the chat. Let's see who's hanging out. Let's see who is here for the fan calling show. We got Matt in the back. We're gonna get Matt on here in just a second. Apparently, did I piss Jordan off again? We've not seen Jordan in weeks. Somebody called him out and says, "Where's Jordan? What happened to him?" I posted in the Facebook group, and Jordan said, "I can't get a word in edgewise on the fan calling show, and I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it." He's been in the back. Jordan's been in the back, but we didn't shut up long enough. We're 7 minutes in. Oh, and Jordan's back. Okay, hold on. Jordan's back. It's going to be an epic moment. I can't wait to get Jordan back on here because he's a fan favorite. We got some stuff to settle. Let me run down the chat. I'm getting ahead of myself, trying to put on a show here. Let's see who's hanging out. Seek Beloved is here. Says waiting on Boogie. Let's go. You were waiting on Dauber and Gabe. I would tell you what they were talking about, but it's top secret. Only the insiders get to know. Darius is in the house. What is up, Darius? David Burgess is here. Says hello, my Talkin VAWLS family. Dropping those custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Tajon Washington in the chat. Always good to see Tajon. He is a Talkin VAWLS OG, man. He's been around for a minute. Matt Dummett is in the house. Fish and Beans is here. Big Vol Daddy's in the house. Had a good conversation with him via text message right before we went live. Ron the Don is here. Terry Reed is here. David says smash the thumbs up. Kelly Goodwin in the house. What's up, Kelly? Let's see who else we got. Timmy Williams, you guys pointing this one out in the chat. Prayers for my wife. She has cancer and a blood clot in her lungs. Just found out about the blood clot. So send up some prayers. Timmy, we'll be praying for you and your wife, my man. Hope everything works out. But Talkin VAWLS Network, there is strength in numbers. Let's send up some prayers for Timmy and his wife as well. But we'll be thinking about you, buddy. Let me jam through some super chats. Is here in just a second. Let's see. Joe's in the house. What's up, Joe? Jason's here. Robert Tuck's in the house. Mrs. Coach J is here. Coach J has the link. I sent it to Twitter because he is banned and all kinds of crazy stuff on YouTube. Let's jam some super chats. Robert for 2 says, I am here. There's an entry fee around here on the Talkin VAWLS Network now. If you want to be a part of the show, you got to drop an entry fee. Robert dropped it twice. He said, here's another $2. So apparently the entry fee tonight is $4. So drop your $4 super chats. Come on in, smash the thumbs up, and we'll have a good time. Crazy Nugs for 10. That ain't cheap. I missed the last 2 live streams, but I'm here now, Boog. Congratulations again. You're a professional YouTuber. That's the beauty, man. Whether I fall flat on my face or whether I succeed, for now, I can tell people that I talk about Tennessee football for a living. Thank you, Nugs, for the super chat. Appreciate it. Ron the Don for 20. That ain't cheap. It's cold outside, but Boogie, you warm our big orange hearts. Way to go on your new adventure. Congrats. Appreciate that, Ron the Don. Couldn't do it without you guys. Couldn't do it without these 2 guys either. It's a team effort, but they afford me the opportunity to be able to do this full time. Thank you, Ron the Don. Appreciate that. Jason Lawrence for $50. That ain't cheap. We got to pause the show. We got to play the clip. We have to do it. It's a rule.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Jason Lawrence for $50. That is not cheap. Not able to watch live. I will definitely watch later. Keep up the great work, Boogie and crew. Love the content. Excited to see the future of the channel. Appreciate that, Jason. Oh, that's very generous. Man, how about Jason dropping a $50 super chat and then just leaving? He's like, I'm not even going to listen to Boogie read it. I'm just going to drop it. Kelly in the chat. Polk County. All right. Without further ado, we got to get the return. Thank you again, Jason. Very, very generous super chat. We appreciate it. The return of the man, the myth, the legend, Polk County.
There he is.
Jordan, what's good, my buddy? What's good? It's only fitting that his mic doesn't work. This is why they yell at you, Jordan. This is why people yell at you. How are you going to come on and your mic not work?
Nope.
Can't hear you. Oh, if he just leaves, just gone. Now watch this. Let me show you how a true professional does it. Matt Begley's in the house. What's up, Matt?
What's going on, Boogie? How you doing, guys?
What's happening?
Matt, how come nobody ever comes and yells at you? They just say, okay, Matt's here. What's up, buddy? Let's talk some football.
I don't know, my friend. I get enough yelling here at home with 3 little ones. So,
all right, let's see if we can get Jordan back on here. Jordan, are you working now?
Still can't hear you, buddy. Still can't hear you. I don't know what the issue is.
This is amazing. I
don't know.
This is quality content.
There's no. Oh, he's frozen now too. What's going on?
You know what the problem is? He changed his name to TriStar. That's the problem. That's the problem. Matt, how you feeling, buddy? What do you think about this bowl game coming up? Let's go back to the question. Is this icing on the cake for 2022, or is this looking ahead to 2023?
I believe with the introduction of the transfer portal, I think you have to consider it icing on the cake because we really don't know what the 2023 team will actually look like. We've already seen so much change from just a month ago, obviously. That I'm excited to see, what our guys do. I'm really excited to see how we run the football against this Clemson D-line. A very intriguing piece of this to me is that my boss is a diehard Clemson fan, which is going to be very, very interesting come Monday when we get back into the office to see what happens there on the shade of orange. But I think with the intro to the transfer portal, you have to consider it icing on the cake because I heard you guys talking about Nico in the intro as well. We have no idea what 2023 looks like. We know the players that say they're coming back. Right now, our receiver room is still likely to change, more than likely after this game, with the introduction of the transfer portal. Brood being the primary guy possibly next year. Is he the secondary, depending on who they get? So I'd like to consider it icing on the cake, go out, see our young guys get a shot to play and go out and in prime time, the only game on ESPN on Friday night. I think our first 8 p.m. start of the year as well. So a pretty local, pretty late game kickoff, but the orangiest Orange Bowl of all time, obviously, and it's going to be fun to see because I think, interestingly enough, if we both took care of South Carolina, you're probably seeing this game this weekend again, but in Phoenix instead.
Probably.
Of Miami. So
let's add a couple of more guys on here real quick. I don't know why it's not muting people in the background, so they're like, I got to unmute them now. Here we go. Big Vol Daddy's in the house. Dustin's in the house. What's going on, guys? What do you think, Big Vol Daddy? Icing on the cake? Do bowl games matter? That's the question that people get mad at me when I kind of mock that.
They matter to me. I don't know about
you
guys, but yeah, they matter. And I would think to this team, this bowl game matters because of the South Carolina game, kind of piggybacking off of what Dauber said earlier. You would think that these guys would want to atone for that. Certainly as a fan, it sure would take some of that taste out of my mouth if they could get this would be a huge win for this, not just for this season, but for this program moving forward. Your thoughts, guys?
It's big time for recruiting because we go head to head with Clemson for a lot of the same guys. I think there are some guys that it matters to. You look at BY, declaring for the draft. Darnell Wright. These guys, but then saying, hey, I want to finish what I started. But then you have guys like Banks, saying, writing his letter and talking about I'll be a VFL and my brothers
What a
and this time in Knoxville.
Career.
I don't know how you can have both sides of it. I don't know how some guys are like, yeah, I got to come back. I want to finish this ride, one last ride with my boys. And then other guys are like, peace out. It's weird.
Yeah. On one hand, I can understand it if you're elite, but I'm also kind of old school. Like I remember watching, bowl games when they really mattered in the whole scheme of the rankings. But to me, it's still our championship. It's the closest thing we're going to have to championship, even after a great season. So I'd love to see them finish it off the way they're capable. I think, Clemson's probably got the depth and the talent factor going for them overall. But, it's an opportunity for some of the younger guys to step up as well and get Joe some valuable time and see what happens.
You guys think this game matters to Clemson? That's the real question.
Yeah,
Clemson's in the talking point. Sorry, Gabe. The talking point this week has kind of been Clemson's got this young freshman quarterback, right? Their fans seem excited about that. We got Joe Milton, who he's going into his 6th year next year, man. 6th year. But he's also a new quarterback. Yeah, we've seen him. We know who he is. We know what he brings to the table. But we keep seeing that potential, right? And it's like, God, Joe, just give me what you can be, man. You are an NFL elite level quarterback. You're just a few little things away. Gabe, sorry I cut you off. Go ahead, buddy.
That's okay. I was just gonna say this game definitely matters to Cade Klubnik. As a true freshman, getting to play in a bowl. He's a true freshman, right? Not a redshirt freshman.
Yeah, true freshman.
As a true freshman, getting to play in a huge bowl game like this, it's sort of what you dream of. So it's going to matter to him. As far as the rest of the team, the guys that are they have the choice to opt out or not. I don't know. I can't speak for them, but it's going to matter to him, and he is arguably the catalyst of how this game goes for Clemson because obviously that's where a lot of their struggles have pivoted throughout the whole season was whether or not DJ performed or not. So he came in that last game and destroyed it. So we'll see, but yeah, I think it matters to him. Absolutely. I think it matters to Tennessee as a program more probably, but whether that translates onto the field, we'll have to wait and see on Friday night.
When's the last time Tennessee won 11 games? Is it 2001? Is 2001 the last time, or is that
2001 or 2003, something like that?
No, yeah, it's 2001. 11-2 in 2001.
Isn't even alive.
Yeah, because 2003 was the year we ended up getting pretty much hammered by Clemson in the Chick-fil-A Bowl.
Yeah, Peach Bowl. They lost 10-3 with a loss in the Peach Bowl. Let's see. They've had a few 10-win seasons, but good Lord, man, we're talking about over 20 years. Over 20 years, does that matter? Like, is it important? To me, when I look at it, does it freaking matter? Yes, it matters. You're looking at 11 wins for the first time in 20 years. You're looking at a top 5 finish. Like, does that not matter to anybody? Like, how could this not matter? This is important, man. It's important.
Young kids.
The thing I was going to say is, I've said it on here before. The bowl season has been watered down by bowls that start, the middle of December, and you got teams that are 500 or struggling to get that last win to qualify for bowl eligibility. So those bowl games don't matter. I think you get back to like the Orange Bowl. The Orange Bowl's a meaningful bowl game. I don't know that I would go as far as saying, the Music City Bowl is a meaningful game because that bowl can just kick rocks for all I can. It
was one of the worst moments of my life, Dauber. One of the worst moments of my life going to that North Carolina game was snow.
But it also goes back to what Boogie, you and I have talked about it. These kids, And especially with NIL, these kids have no allegiance to the schools they're going to. You know, it's super rare these days for a kid to grow up being a Tennessee fan and then going to Tennessee. Now you got kids that are going, you know, chasing money with NIL, or, you know, chasing rings and going to the Ohio States and Clemson's and Georgia's and Alabama's because that's what they want to do. So it's that has changed everything about it. I think that version of college football, these guys look at it. It's postseason. It's a scrimmage. If it's not the playoffs, it doesn't matter. And I don't like that.
Jordan, you dropped a $2 super chat and said your mic's working. Is your mic working now?
Testing 1, 2.
Oh my gosh, he's here. Jordan, do you understand how much this fan base, like, you're like, you know, when you pick on somebody and they get mad, why do you always pick on me? Because we like you. This chat eats you alive. You know why? Because they like you. And then you disappeared for weeks and weeks and weeks, and in the comments, every fan calling, where's Jordan? Where's Polk County? What happened to him? You're upset, Jordan. You're frustrated. The floor is yours. What do you need to say? Let the listeners know where you've been and what your problem is.
In the words of, I was trying to use it without my headset because for some reason I get a lot of static with it. But there's an old saying the old Jim Cornette said one time, "How can I miss you if you won't go away?" And I figured I better make y'all miss me a little bit.
Well, it worked because the chat missed you. We're glad to have you back. You are a staple of this channel. So what are your feelings on the Orange Bowl? You excited about it? Dude, we've not talked to you in forever. Tell us your whole your season preview, your life history. What has happened in the world of Polk County? Why'd you change your name to TriStar? So many questions.
Well, if you don't know,
Dauber's got a question too. Dauber's got a question.
Okay.
Hold on.
I thought it was funny that the porn spam bots hadn't been here since you've been gone too.
Immediately, right back.
You show up
right
and we had to block them right now.
He's laid back in that recliner and they just show up.
I don't know.
Sorry, Polk County. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But anyways, I've been doing a lot, you know, raising 2 kids and just having a lot of things in my personal life going on. But anyways, so how do I feel about us playing the Tater Man? Well, okay, Klubnik. It's his first game starting ever. We've got a good front 7.
Gotta get
secondary. Gotta get at him. Show no mercy. I mean, can Milton stop overthrowing guys by 15 yards? That's a big question. How's our running game? How's our offensive line hold up? Because say what you want about Clemson, but they do have a pretty dang good defense. I mean, it's not like Georgia's, but, I mean, still pretty good. They got some elite guys on defense who are going to be playing on Sunday, and it'll be interesting. And I hope if we beat, and I'm going to say if, because I think it's going to come down to the wire. I want to see what Lord Dabo says on his press conference, if he's blaming the officials or if it's because he didn't go to that church in Anderson on Sunday and that's why they lost, or whatever the reason is, because I've been hearing it from Clemson fans all the time. Oh yeah, we're going to kill Tennessee. Oh, we're going to do this. You don't want this smoke. You don't want that. You don't want anything to do with us. If we was in the SEC, we go 12-0 every year.
No.
Our program's built on God's name, image, and likeness.
You know what Clemson needs to do, Jordan? You know what they need to do on Friday night?
What does the Tater Man need to do?
This is what they need to do.
Just making sure that the little things are taken care of, like getting our cleats in the dirt and just playing.
What we have to do is make sure that we got our cleats in the ground before the ball is snapped. I think that's the key to the game, and make sure that
just get our cleats in the ground, execute calls, the urgency of communicating and getting lined up.
Yeah, you got to get your cleats in the ground and you got to go play.
I think that's what they got to do, Coach Jay. They got to get their cleats in the ground. I muted you and unmuted you and muted you back again. What's up, Coach Jay?
Just getting my cleats in the ground and getting ready to come on the show.
Yeah, because
good to hear.
Hey, we're playing the Tater Man on Friday.
There you go. I'm doing good. Had a good day yesterday at the track. Probably thought I was 21 again and could could hang out all night long, and so I'm paying for that a little bit. But I'm doing good, guys. I'm doing good.
Very nice.
Yep.
Tom for $2. Tom got the memo. Tom said, "Oh, we have to pay $2. We have to pay $2 to come into the stream." So Tom paid his $2 dues. What are the rest of you guys waiting on? Let me take this time to do some shills and some plugs. You guys know the deal by now. Boogie's doing this thing full time. We need your support. We need your memberships. We need your super chats. We need all that. We're going to shill for money. But if you want to be a part of this, the fan call-in show, you can hit the join button down below. The link is out to all members, elite and higher. So if you want to join the channel, you can do that down below. But also, I got to shill because I want to show off this shirt, because I know I say this every time we put out a new shirt, but this is one of my favorite shirts of all time. Because we don't get political around here, but it's time to get political, because in 2024, there's a huge election coming up, and there's only one vote. The only vote is Boogie Dauber 2024. So if you want to let people know where you stand politically, you can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS, pick up this shirt, and let people know where your vote is going, and that is for Boogie Dauber. We're independent, right, Dauber? Pretty sure we're independent.
All the way.
Independent. That's right. Right in the middle where people belong. But if not, if you don't want to get political, you can go check out the old favorites, the scoreboard shirt, Vols by Fitty, all that good stuff. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. We appreciate the support. And as I say every time I do the merch plug, thank you to the members. You guys, financially contributing to this channel, it means a lot. We appreciate it. Done with shills. Let's get the fan call-in show going. I'll drop the link out to everybody else here in just a second. But for now, it's out to Talkin VAWLS Elite and higher. Coach Jay, we were talking about the Orange Bowl. Does it matter? What does it mean? Is it all about 2022, or is the porn bots are back because Jordan is here? Let me block them real quick. Is it all about 2022 and putting a bow on this season, or is it about 2023 and preparing for next year? What do you think about the Orange Bowl?
I mean, I think it's all and above. You know, like, it's everything. It's next year. It's putting a bow on this year. It's getting that big 11th win. It's getting a good look at Joe Milton. It's building for the future. It's all that good stuff, right? It's those extra practices for the young guys. It's a good look at Coach Halsey for that offensive coordinator position. So kind of all the above, Boogie, I would say. All the above.
I see Nelson in the chat. Nelson's he's a Vol Twitter fan favorite. I'm going to send you the link, Nelson. If you want to come on, I'm going to shoot you the link over here on Twitter. People can get mad at me, but I'm going to do it anyway. Sorry, go ahead, guys. Hey, fan calling show. You guys talk about whatever you want to talk about.
BVD was raising his hand.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Boogie, I appreciate you having me on. Good talking to all you guys. I'll give you, I don't know if you guys have done or going to do score predictions, but I'll give you mine on the way out so some other people can get in that don't get too crowded. Because I'm a big guy and I take up a lot of room. But I'm saying ball 42, Taters 27. Big 15-point win.
15-point win over the Tater Man.
Book it. You guys have a great one.
Later, buddy.
Thank you, Vol Daddy.
BVD.
Trying to recruit Big Vol Daddy to do some morning streams, because that's the, you know, once we get back to fall, man, we're going to be doing more morning streams, whether that means probably Monday. I don't know why StreamYard's not working. It's not muting people when they try to mute themselves. We'll probably do a Monday morning stream with Gabe, and as long as he can still, and then a Friday morning stream. We'll see how the schedule works out. I think that probably works the best. Continue to roll out 4 evening streams. I don't know. Whatever you guys want is what we are going to give you guys. Let me hit a couple of super chats real quick. Alex Cole for $10. That ain't cheap. Thank you, Alex. We have to contain Shipley. That's their best player. Keep Cade Klubnik in the pocket. He can take off when he needs to. And, yes, this game matters, man. Let's get 11 wins. GBO. Let me come back to that question from Alex. But let me hit this one from Ryan for $2. Boogie, by God, Bentley, it's going to stick. I've heard that a time or two in my life, so it probably will stick. Let's go back to this question. I'll throw it to Dustin. Dustin's been quiet for a little bit. What do you think about Cade Klubnik? He's a true freshman. That's something Gabe mentioned earlier. I think the key is getting pressure on him. Do you think a true freshman is ready for this moment? Because it is, you know, somebody mentioned it earlier. Maybe Jordan mentioned it earlier. Everybody's going to be watching. This is the only game on Friday night. Is a true freshman ready for that?
Well, I was going to say that I hope we have a Kentucky/Pitt type performance on defense and really get after him. I hate to see anybody hurt, but if we can get somebody else in there, from an aggressive defense, I'll take it. But we also know how average or mediocre quarterbacks have looked against us this year too. So I can really see it going either way. I don't know that the game's necessarily going to be too big for the kid, but I think if we can cause a fumble, cause an interception, hit him a few times early, then things may change. And then back to the other point you're talking about a second ago, as far as the whole season goes, man, it's been an incredible season for us. So I think if we don't win this game, it's going to be another, well, that was a great season, but, add it to the South Carolina it's not going to be as magical, I guess, if we don't get to 11, but it'll still be a great season. So either way, I think there's a lot of variables in this game. It's kind of hard to predict and lean one way or the other.
I think Cade Klubnik is probably gonna. I don't think the stage is gonna be too big for him. I mean, he played in the ACC championship game and lit it up. So, not that I think that's as big of a game necessarily, but North Carolina is a really good team, and he again lit them up. So, it's a pretty big stage, and I don't really feel like that's his problem. I just feel like his problem will be, because he's so young, can he? It's one thing to come in and have your moment. It's another to extend that and keep it going, and not kind of get in a slump afterwards. So if he can stay consistent and play the way he did play in the ACC championship, then it's going to be a really, really competitive game. If he can, if he's inconsistent, if he has a bad game,
What's up, Nelson?
Clemson's gonna be turning the ball over too much to. I mean, Will Shipley won't matter if you can't get the ball to him. So. Our run defense is really solid. I think they use him a little bit in the backfield. He is a wide receiver primarily, right? He's sort of that hybrid guy though.
He kicks, he does everything.
Does a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So our running. I trust our running game. It's just about whether we can contain Cade Klubnik, and he might do that for us. But if not, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens, especially with couple players being out. Did y'all see though that this doesn't necessarily mean anything for this game specifically, but did y'all see that Aaron Beasley is coming back next year?
That's a big get.
Are you guys surprised by that though? I'm not surprised by that.
Not really. Now I will say this: the one guy, you might call me crazy, but I'm kind of glad just with all the character things, all the issues. Jeremy Banks. Honestly, I know he's a talent guy, but he kind of makes that Eric Gilbert guy from Georgia who transferred. It's kind of that same thing. He's got great talent, but it's like he can't get out of his own way. Like when he got pulled over and threatened that cop his freshman year, and just the things like that, and the thing what happened before the South Carolina game. It's just. And another thing too, apparently Tyler Barron's not decided if he's going to come back or not. And honestly, at this point, with what happened last year, if he goes, bye-bye, see you later.
Where's he been all year anyway? I mean,
exactly. What has he done? Do you know that?
Halftime, that's the last time
would you like to know who our leading sack leader was this year and how many sacks he had? Because I think this kind of doesn't get discussed enough.
I thought there were several of them tied. I thought several of them were tied.
I know Byron Young was one of them. He is up to 5. That's it, 5. Yeah. And he had that by the LSU, by the Alabama game. But after that, it's like they just disappeared. I'm like,
to piggyback what you're saying, Jordan. Like last year, BY had around the same numbers, right? And last year we were saying we want more. This year it seems like BY did a little bit more, and he had he had the same number of sacks and less tackles. I thought that was interesting. Tyler Barron, I think, comes back. I don't think Tyler Barron is ready for the NFL. As far as Jeremy Banks, I'm gonna keep saying allegedly, guys. Allegedly. Wait. Allegedly. Allegedly, Jeremy Banks was not academically eligible. Allegedly.
Oh, I did hear that.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a choice but to go pro. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, I'll say this real quick and I'll toss it over to Dauber. But it does worry me. I mean, I don't know if that's the case, then he wasn't going to be able to play regardless. But it does worry me a little bit because he was a little bit of our identity out there. Definitely a leader of sorts, at least on the field. So I hope that we don't, lay another egg like the South Carolina game. What do you think, Dauber?
To me, and I'm probably going into what I was going to talk about tomorrow night on our Wednesday night show.
Spoiler alert.
To me, it's not the defense, because the defense is what it's been all season. It's been our weak link. It's been the Achilles heel. It's been the bend but don't break. Don't give up more than the offense can score. So to me, it's, will the offense show up? Will the firepower and the speed and being able to execute, is that going to show up? So can Joe Milton come out and drive this team down the field and put points on the board? So if that doesn't happen, it doesn't matter what the defense does.
Let me tell everybody right now why I think Joe Milton is going to have at least a good game.
Gabe, before you do that, can you do me a favor?
Sure.
Can you show everybody your shirt?
It's just a generic. It's not any university. It's just a.
They think it's an Alabama shirt. I just needed you to prove that.
You can read it.
I needed you to prove that.
It's not an Alabama shirt. It's just a generic. It means nothing.
Wait, can we go around the room and let everybody? This is why they hate the three of us, who are probably on here more than everybody. Let's look what Matt's wearing. Let's look at Coach Jay. Let's look at Jordan. Let's look at Dustin. Everybody's wearing orange. I'm wearing a Young Bucks shirt. Okay.
This is yellow.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The Young Bucks, really? Come on now.
Look. Hey, it says I love to hate the Young Bucks. It says I love to hate the Young Bucks.
FTR's a better tag team. They couldn't strap the
Dauber's been in this
the Young
PJ
Bucks
since
couldn't
Christmas.
strap the FTR.
I got Zubas for Christmas yesterday.
Dude,
Gabe probably doesn't even know what those are.
I wanted to comment on that, and then I got lazy. Oh wait, that's a Preds. That's not better. Not better. Not better. But that's a sweet hoodie. That's a sweet hoodie. I wanted to comment the Road Warriors, Dauber, when I saw that post. Sorry, Gabe, we cut you off to have a little fun. Gabe, you had a serious point to make. Let's go.
It's okay. This is why I think.
Baker.
This is why I think. No, seriously. This is why I think Joe Milton is going to have a good game. Is because previously, like Vanderbilt, everybody's freaking out about Joe Milton's performance, right? Because I mean, he did okay. He had some he had some inaccurate throws. They weren't letting him run the ball in that game. We were just kind of running all over them with the running backs. We didn't want to get him hurt because Taven Jackson was hurt, and we had literally nobody else. So in this game, they're going to have a balanced attack. He's going to be allowed. I think he's going to be allowed to run the football. He needs to be allowed to run the football because Joe Milton, he gets in the game more when he runs the football. He looks for that contact. He takes a hit or he hits somebody, and he's in the game. If he can have that balance, get back to the line of scrimmage, throw a bomb, we have seen him be more accurate doing that. When he comes in the game, he can run a draw. He can let the running backs do their thing, and then he can throw a bomb or throw it across one of his darts across the middle, something like that. That rhythm is key for Joe Milton. He's not a guy that can just come in and throw every play and be accurate. He needs to have that balance in his game mentally to allow him to do those things. That's why I think he's going to have a good game. I think they're going to let him do that.
I'll tell you another one, too. See, a lot of Joe's problem, I feel like he kind of wants to show his arm off. Because have you noticed when he overthrows guys, he's not overthrowing them by like a yard. He's overthrowing by 20. Mm-hmm. And his problem is he's got happy feet. He gets excited, and it's like he tries to put all of his body into a throw. If he would just calm it down, not get excited, not let his adrenaline get to him, because that's what he said after the Vanderbilt game in the press conference. He said, "Oh, I was getting excited out there." And
right. All he's got to do is flick his wrist.
I'll say this.
I'm pretty sure. Go ahead.
And you was talking about the linebacker thing. I can say this from my sources. The guys we got coming in, Jeremiah Teenlander and Arian Carter, I got a feeling we're not going to be missing Jeremy Banks for too long. I'll just say that.
I wish.
I'm
just
talking about for this game. Yeah.
I wish they could.
I wish they could play this game. Trust me, you'd be saying, "Man, Jeremy Banks, man, he was a scrub. He was nobody."
Dustin,
Matt, you were about to say
I want to come back. No, you were, Dustin. Dustin, finish your point, then we'll come back to Matt, and then I'm going to try to retain my thought. But I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I was just going to say, I guarantee you that Joe, wants to hit those just as much as we do. I definitely don't think it's like him necessarily showing off, but I agree with you. Like we've seen way too many of those. It's really old news now, and now and the start of next season is going to be his opportunity and maybe his last opportunity to start connecting on those, because I have no doubt that Heupel's going to make the change if it comes down to it.
Matt, do you have a quarterback point, or are you going to change gears?
It's a quarterback question and
Okay.
a point as well. Kind of off
Stick with it.
comment, and we talked about this right before the Vanderbilt game. If you guys remember what we would do with Joe, was you run him or not? The same question applies to Friday night. What is the playbook look like for him? Because we do not have anything behind him. It's Gaston Moore and maybe Schuler in the 2 and 3 spot behind Joe. Even if he has to have a helmet replacement or, like they said, if helmet gets knocked off, has to go out of a game, we don't have the backup. Do you let him go full out? Because in my opinion, it is a bowl game. You do.
I think.
Or do you think they limit his running ability because of that?
Clemson's in the same boat too, though, right? Because
Yeah.
they're starting.
DJ
he lost his
Ukulele's
starting
gone.
job.
He's
He's gone. He's off to the portal. So now you got a true freshman.
He's going to Oregon State.
And that's what you're going to see in these bowl games. Like, they're in the same boat too. Gabe, you were going to talk. I think you just run the playbook, man. This is it. This is the end of the year.
Yeah.
You're playing for 11 games. I think you
agree.
give it everything you got.
And
I
yeah,
think the playbook looks different than it did for Hooker, though.
I will say Taven Jackson is, I think, back for this game. He's available for this game. I won't say he's back. He is available in this game. I still wouldn't want to play him, though. I mean, he's back from a broken collarbone. I wouldn't want to put him in but again, if we had to put him in for a snap to do a handoff or something, we could. So I think that's why I say, yeah, you open up the full playbook to Joe. You let him run. You let him find that contact, take some of those hits, and get in his stride. Because I think that's how you get a good performance out of him, is you let him play his game, and he hits on those throws and makes everybody else look silly.
More than the run game, I want to see Joe throw over the middle. Utilize the middle of the
that
field.
was one thing that Hooker never wanted to do.
And Joe's so good at it too.
Yes, he is.
I think that also had to do with play calling in the Vandy game. Honestly, I really do, because it's like
it was
there
play
weren't
calling,
any
his little weather, his little different things.
And speaking. Yeah.
Sorry,
I know.
Dustin. Dustin.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, go ahead. I'm just tired of hearing the Vanderbilt weather excuse because, and I love Joe. But that's the same thing we've seen from Joe. I think the weather's a cop out.
Yeah, we've seen that in beautiful weather too. So I'll toss this over to Coach Jay. We're talking about the playbook. Dauber mentioned the playbook, and I think I mentioned this last time too. Do you think we'll see some of those, I don't want to call them exotic, but deviations in the playbook where, we have Milton under center for those short yardage situations?
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll pull out all the stops. It's the last game of the year. Why not? What have you got to lose? You've got the whole off season. Yeah, he could get banged up, but Milton's a big kid. Like, I wouldn't be worried about it. I'd let it fire. I'd want to know exactly what I was walking into in this off season. Jackson, he still looked rusty to me, man. I was watching practice, and his footwork sucks. I wish I could say it nicer. And I like the kid. I think he could be good, but I don't know if it was just rust, but the clip I was watching, his footwork sucks. So
if he's ever going to play, he's going to be the gunslinger type, sort of like a Baker Mayfield, in my opinion, who's just going to kind of run around. He's going to be maybe like sort of a pocket magician and just sling it. And he might throw 10 interceptions in a season, but my God, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that's my sort of comparison. It's like a Baker Mayfield, but we'll see. He's an athletic guy.
I think Taven's gone. I think he's gone after the spring. I think it's over.
I could see him going to Indiana.
Yeah, and people can yell at me and scream at me. I put the quarterback video out today. I'm starting the quarterback competition videos now. I'm starting it now. I'm creating the arguments and the fussing and the yelling. I'll see if people can cuss at me and yell at me. We'll see what happens. But I just don't think Taven. Look, I like the kid. I think he's great, but I don't think he's on Nico's level or Joe's level. To be honest,
are you doubling down on overthrow Joe?
I am, man. Well, not doubling down. I think Joe starts. I think you're talking about a
He's gonna
guy.
have the shortest quarterback leash in history next
He
year.
is. And that's what I said in the video this morning. And I refuse to call him a kid. People get mad at me when I call these guys
He's
kids,
like
but they are kids.
25.
Joe's like 37 years old. Like, he is a grown man. Like, 6th year? Going into his 6th year?
And
Like,
this is going
he's
to be
the
his
guy.
third chance. And by the way, this is 3 in sign language. This is going to be his third
Oh, is it?
chance.
He's
Yeah,
going to be the
Michigan
guy.
last year, and then next year. Well, actually, technically this year.
He's going to be the guy. He's going to be the guy at the beginning of the year. But I think Nico's going to take over before it's all said and done. All you guys going nuts about Coach Jay, coming your way soon. That is coming your way soon. As soon as we can get some stuff scheduled, I've got Coach Jay's schedule. I got to check my calendar. We're going to get it scheduled. We're going to jam out like 2, 3, 4 videos at a time, and then we're going to get those out to you guys. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. It's going to be fun. I can't wait to break down all the in-state kids. That's where we're going to go, break down the in-state kids. Got a video coming tomorrow morning. Boo Carter, spoiler alert. We'll just tell you what's coming in the morning. But we got 180 people watching live right now. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Smash the thumbs up. Quick, free, easy, helps the channel. We would appreciate it. Let me hit a couple of super chats here real quick. Sling Blade for $10. That ain't cheap. Covering my entry fee and a few more. Let's go. Appreciate that, Sling Blade. He understands there's a cover price to get in here and watch the Talkin VAWLS Network. I don't know what the other 178 of you all are doing, but I appreciate Sling Blade for dropping the cover charge. Joe Fowler for $5. Doesn't have anything to say, just a tip in the tip jar. Appreciate that, Joe. Thank you for the super chat. Let's see. Caught up. Who am I going to put on the spot? Matt.
Let me run it
or
back
Dauber.
to,
I'll put Dauber on the spot. Go ahead, Dauber.
I want to run it back to something Gabe said earlier. He's talking about Clemson and North Carolina in the ACC championship, and he called North Carolina a good team, a pretty good team. I'm gonna have to argue with you a little bit there. You know, one, it's the ACC. ACC's weak, brother. 2, you look at North Carolina's record; they're 9-3, but they had a 2-point win against App State, a 3-point win against Miami, a 3-point win against Duke, a 3-point win against Virginia, and a 2-point win against Wake, and a 7-point win over Georgia State. So they scraped by all season to get to the ACC championship.
I mean, I don't know. Good teams win games. I'm just saying. I mean, there's not much else to it. Like, I mean, I don't think they're top 10. I don't think they're top 15.
They're not ranked.
I don't think they're that good, but I think they're
well,
a
you
decent.
said they were good.
I think they are good. I don't think they are top of the I don't think they're a great team. Like, I think they are. I think they could give any team trouble. I mean, it's college football. I don't think they are like on paper better than Clemson or as good as Clemson or even close. But I think that they could give teams like that trouble.
I don't think Clemson's win over North Carolina means jack squat.
Okay. I mean, sure. I mean, I think it's still pretty impressive that a true freshman quarterback came in and performed the way he did, even against a lesser opponent. I mean, you know, you can never predict how a true freshman is going to play, whether they were ranked 4 stars or 5 stars or not. You know, you put them on the field and they might do great, or they might go, I don't feel like playing well today because I'm not experienced enough.
No, I mean, I get that. I just wanted to run it back to there.
I guess we don't. There's no true measuring stick in college football. That's why the playoff system is so jacked up. Because Cincinnati can get in the top 4 and get destroyed by a team by an actual good team. What is this? What is this graphic that I'm looking at?
I think it's a measuring stick of who is winning the debate.
Oh, okay. Wow, that must have taken a lot of effort. Really, like.
Hey, I'm just having fun tonight, Gabe. I'm having fun tonight. Jordan's going to work. Going to work for the man. What's up, Sammy P? How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good. Other than I got COVID, but for some reason I feel better than I had the last few days.
You got COVID, but you're the working man. You're on here putting in the work. You're doing a little work, fan calling.
I ain't going to work yet because my actual work won't let me come in.
We were just talking about how horrible our health has been in the past week. Seems like everybody's been that way. For this over Christmas.
The snow, Sammy P. You blaming the snow?
Well, yeah, that's what brought the crud into the house.
Well, hey, other than COVID and dying and death and all that stuff, Sammy P, how you feeling about this bowl game coming up on Friday? Let's bring some positive. Read Dauber's shirt. Let's bring some positive vibes to the show.
Yep, positive vibes, positive. Okay, so what I've noticed so far on the very few, just what I've been able to look at for Clemson and Tennessee, I haven't been able to look at their backup, who, well, now the starter, since whatever, how to pronounce his name, is transferred.
Can anybody pronounce his name? Anybody on the show? Anybody? Coach Jay, can you pronounce it?
It's like Uigalale or something.
Not today, not when I'm hungover. Nah, strike three.
Blame it on booze. It's always the way. Sorry, Sammy, go ahead.
Booze or snow. Blame it on one of the three.
Yeah, man.
But based on that I've seen, he's a bit of a scrambler now. I have horrendous flashbacks and PTSD with scrambling quarterbacks in general. You have, the Ole Miss game last year and a couple of seasons before that. Just Tennessee hadn't been able to stop a running quarterback, and I'm not going to get to what I've seen in the pros. That's like Western. That's like all quiet on the Western Front vibes. But I feel like if we could just do what we did in the LSU game, we should be able to control them on offense and dictate, how you want to on defense. You want to dictate to the offense how the game is going to go. I feel like we should be able to do that. I need to do more research, and I'll have all time this week to do it. So,
there you go.
But I'm just worried about how the running game is going to do. That's primary for me. That's how this offense works. Clemson has a good front on defense, and so we'll see how it goes. If we can get Clemson off the line and just get holes, the running backs will do the rest.
If our offensive linemen put their cleats in the dirt and the grass and get a push, we'll win.
Every coach that has said that for how to stop our offense, I just see the look in their face of like they're crapping their pants as they're saying that.
But Coach Jay, don't you feel pretty good? I mean, I know Clemson, their defensive front's pretty good. Their front seven's pretty good. They got their big-time playmakers opted out, but they're still pretty good. They rotate a lot of guys up front. They're pretty good. I think the offensive line for Tennessee's played pretty good this year. I like that matchup. I'm more concerned with Joe Milton, Coach, than I am the offensive front. You know more than I do. Break it down.
I like the matchup. I mean, they're missing a couple guys. What are they missing? Like their Mike linebacker, one of their big edge rushers, I believe.
I think, the edge rusher. He's like a first-round draft pick.
And don't get me wrong, Clemson has talent, but Darnell Wright's going to be kicking the crap out of someone all day for sure. He's kind of made that clear with his decision. And, I think the offensive line is going to be able to get a push in that game. I think we will be able to run in that game. I think Joe Milton's going to have to hit one or two of those long balls, not over the middle, to keep them honest. I mean, that's kind of going to be what makes or breaks Joe, period, So if he can do that, we're good. But we're about to find out, man. It's going to be nice sunny skies, nice blue skies, nice green grass, and we'll see what he's got, man. It's going to be fun.
I think that's a good point, though, that we're not talking about Tennessee's run game against their front seven. We're really not talking about that at all. We're talking about Joe Milton and throwing, and we're not really talking about the Tennessee run game.
It's going to be good.
It's going to see on the highlights.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be serviceable. It has all year. Like, we're going to be fine there. I get nervous whenever you're missing a Mike linebacker. I think it's the D coordinator in me. I didn't know Banks was not playing that South Carolina, and as soon as I noticed it, which was like play 2, I was like, oh, crap. Because it messes with your defense, man. It really does. It really, really does. So
because it's the confidence of knowing, hey, that's a guy that knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And so
So what do you think they've done? Because how many bowl practices you get? 15? Is it 15? Something like that?
Yeah, I think it's like 13, 15. Yeah, something
so
like
who are you prepping? Because they've known, like, when I wink at you guys and say academically ineligible, that's something we've known for a while. So this coaching staff has known for a while. So who are they prepping? Are you going to get a whole lot of Juju Mitchell and Aaron Beasley? Are they preparing Juju Mitchell for that role? is it going to be a whole lot of those two guys? You know, we've seen them rotate the linebacker position just like they do the defensive line. Is Page? Is it going to be kind of Juju Mitchell, Aaron Beasley, and Solon Page? Is Herring? Can he take that step? What does it look like? Because you've known, Coach Jay. You know, South Carolina was different because going into the week, and this is again coming straight from the VolQuest podcast. They were talking about that this morning, saying, you know, that South Carolina game was supposed to be a quarter or a half suspension for Jamie Banks, but the way his week played out, they said stay home. You're not traveling, and you know I beat that to death in videos, and people are like, "Well, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about." Got a little birdie in my ear telling me what's going on down there in Knoxville. So sometimes I do know what I'm talking about. But now this coaching staff knows 15, 18 practices, whatever it is, they can prepare. So are you getting Juju Mitchell and Aaron Beasley ready to go, Coach Jay? Does that give you a little bit more confidence knowing you're preparing for that?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to let you prepare a little bit better. You can move pieces around, if you will, make sure they're walling off the middle of the field a little bit better. And, you know, Beasley actually got better at that as the year went on, actually. There were a couple times, I mean, I know it's just Vanderbilt, but there were a couple times where I stopped the film and I was like, oh, crap, he's learning something. So that's always encouraging for sure. But, yeah, we'll see what they got. I think Herring will have some blitz packages. I think he'll see the field. We'll see if he's ready for pass pro as a linebacker. And that's going to be the issue with the young guys coming in. We'll see what they got too. Definitely some young studs coming in who can play in space, and that's awesome. But there's going to be a lot of influx up in the brain in between the ear pads.
If it was that easy to fix, if we can just fix it and, you know, from the end of the Vandy game to Friday night, the season wouldn't look as it did. You wouldn't have had those weaknesses all year on defense. It's there because of the personnel. And that's nothing against those guys because they're playing their butts off. They're doing what they can, but the defense is the weak link on this team.
My point is the difference between the South Carolina game and giving up 63 points versus the rest of the year, right? Yeah. The rest of the year, I feel a little bit more confident against Clemson than I do that South Carolina game without Jeremy Banks. But so many people want to point fingers at Jeremy Banks for that. And Coach Jay just kind of said it. He's the quarterback of the defense, and I get it. So my question is, when you got a little bit more time, can you go from 63 to 33. I don't know.
But my point earlier is it's not the defense. The defense does not. It's not what's going to decide this game Friday. It's the offense. Can Joe Milton and that change at that position make a difference? Will the offense click and score points like they had all year with Hendon Hooker running quarterback, or will they struggle? And you saw what this team did when the offense struggled in Columbia against South Carolina, and that was with Hendon Hooker.
Dang it, I'm going back to the run game because Coach Jay's changing my mind. What happens if they can run the dang football down Clemson's throat? Does Joe have to do something? Does he have to be Hendon, or does he have to be efficient? You know what I mean?
I want to do is not be the worst quarterback we've ever seen in
history. If you can run the ball, then all of a sudden you can throw those quick outs to the sideline. You can throw the small slants. You can even run a screen underneath or have Joe pull it down and stuff like that. But there's something about that linebacker spot. I have more faith in Joe Milton than I do in our backup linebackers still, maybe. I see Wayne talking about Carter in the chat. Yeah, I was watching film of him today as well as Beasley, and I think was it Edwin Spillman? Is it Spillman?
Yes, that's Nate's little brother. Spillman? Coach Jay doing his homework coming up.
Yeah, that kid's
alert.
going to be a beast too. By the way, are we doing their junior films, senior films?
Whatever the top is,
Okay.
probably junior. It'll probably be their junior film because they're going into their senior years. So
yeah, I'll tell you what. Just a little sneak peek. I watched that Beasley film first, and I got really excited to see a cornerback that knew how to play outside leverage when they're supposed to play outside leverage, and inside leverage when they're supposed to play inside leverage, and kept their hips in front of them when they were in zero. It was refreshing, because I'll tell you, we've had some cornerbacks this year who you would think they could do this at the college level, but they're not.
And that's the number one player. Spoiler alert. That's the number one player in the state of Tennessee, and he's already committed to Tennessee. So I can't. That's the Caleb Beasley's the one we're starting with. So I'm excited about that. But again, that's a spoiler alert. Coming soon. Let me hit some super chats real quick. Leon DeHilt for 5. Thank you for super chat. This is my entry fee. Plus, I'm sticking with my original thought. This game depends on how Bazooka Joe plays. We need him to control that rocket. Thank you, Leon DeHilt. Thank you for the entry fee. Still waiting on 162 other people to drop their entry fee, but we appreciate it. Robert McGee for 10. Sorry I can't be on tonight, Boogie. Y'all be good tonight. How we usually behave on the fan call-in shows. It's usually the NCAA streams that we get out of hand. But thank you, Robert. Very generous. Appreciate the $10, my man. Jordan says, here's $2. More connection issues. Just follow me on Twitter. He doesn't tell you where. So you can figure out how to follow Jordan on Twitter. Drops another $2. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate you coming on, buddy. It's good to have you back on. You're a big part of this channel. We appreciate you being here. Let me kick it to Gabe, who is very, very quiet. Gabe, what's going through your mind, buddy?
I've been trying to, okay.
He's been doing homework. I love
it. I haven't been doing homework. I feel like I've been living under a rock for the past week. Probably because I've been sick and whatnot. But anyway, I'd like to see a 3-back rotation in this game from Tennessee. I'd like to see a lot of Dylan Sampson. I just think keeping it fresh with the 3 guys, Jabari Small, Jalen Wright, and there's no reason we shouldn't be rotating. You know, I know we can't really, the way we play the game, we can't really rotate mid-drive, and that's fine. But I want to see a drive with Jabari, a drive with Jalen, a drive with Dylan Sampson, especially because it's a bowl game. Get those guys the reps. Get Dylan Sampson the reps and keep it interesting for the defense. Keep them on their toes a little bit because, have them defend different kinds of guys and have different looks and things like that. That's really what I'd like to see. I mean, just keep those legs fresh. There's no reason we shouldn't do that, in my opinion. I really want to say I've been disappointed at times this season with how much this coaching staff seems to really build the playbook in a box sometimes, which is fine. That's how you do it. That's how you game plan. It's called a game plan. But some things that I'm like, why are they just not doing this? Like, why are they? Clearly, they've told Hendon Hooker not to run the ball. Clearly, they've told Joe Milton not to run the ball. Clearly, they've told Jimmy Holiday not to bring the kick out, even if he's standing on the goal line. Clearly, they've done this and that. So, and there's all reasons for that. But I would just love to see them. It's a bowl game. It's postseason. It's unique. It's a fresh experience. Open up the playbook. Let these guys have fun. Give them those reps. Give the defense a fresh look every time. And then on the defense, I don't think that Jeremy Banks. Here's why I don't think Jeremy Banks. I don't think his absence is going to do the same thing to this defense as it did with South Carolina, because with South Carolina, it was because it was over an altercation. It was over an issue that kind of had a negative connotation in the locker room, and like a negative effect. And it was so sudden, spur of the moment. It was week of, right? Like, he's been telling guys this whole time, yeah, I won't be playing. The guys know it's not like midweek you're finding out, oh, he's gone. He's not even traveling. It's like, okay, he's not going to be, you're the guy. We're going to be practicing this the whole time, all month. We're going to be practicing this scenario with this guy here. And it's still not going to be the same. I understand it's not going to be the same thing. Aaron Beasley or Juju Mitchell aren't going to be able to stand up there and deliver things the same way that Jeremy does. But I don't think that, like, defensively, play-wise on the field, we're going to see as much of an effect from that, simply just because of the circumstances as to how Jeremy Banks isn't playing in these games. So that's kind of my thoughts on those matters.
Wayne brought up a good point talking about injuries, saying that Small and Wright have been practicing in red no-contact jerseys. Brew McCoy's banged up too. Like, what do the wide receivers look like? Like, I have confidence in Josh Heupel in the wide receiver position. Does Merrill Walker step up? I don't know. But you got Cedric Tillman. You've got Jalen Hyatt out. And, Ramel Keaton's looked good. Squirrel White, you kind of hope he can step into that slot position. Who steps up on the other side if Brew is banged up? Because he's still in that no-contact jersey.
Chaz Nimrod.
Yeah.
behind Walker Merrill, I think Chaz Nimrod's probably the next guy.
He's that big body guy that can go up and get it. He's the next. I don't want to say he's the next Cedric Tillman. He's that type of guy. He could be that type of guy though. If we wanted him to be, he could be that type of guy. Here's an interesting point of discussion. I'm not concerned about our wide receiver room per se. I'm not concerned about it. However, based off of how little we've seen of the guys that will be playing next season, like we know Brew's going to be here, we know Ramel's going to be here, and I am so excited to watch those guys ball out. Probably they're both of their last chances. They are going to go crazy. I'm excited for them. Squirrel White, Walker Merrill, we know those guys are going to be in the rotation. But if one of those guys goes down, if one of those things happens, if we have a Cedric Tillman type thing, if Brew goes down, if Ramel goes down, we haven't hardly seen anybody else, and we haven't picked up anybody in the portal up to this point. All the guys that entered the portal early that we were like, oh man, there's no way we don't get them. There's no way they aren't just banging down the door at UT going, I want to play there. All those guys have committed to other schools already. Ra Thomas, Dominic Lovett, guys that we were like,
there's a name, and he's the name.
All right,
and he's 6'5". He is 6'5". Can you name me an elite level wide receiver that is 6'5", that can play on the outside? Dante Thornton is, I think, Coach Jay. Have you watched his film at all? I think he is the primary target, and I agree with you, Gabe. Like when you look and it's like, okay, every dude I'm making a video on has now gone somewhere else, and I'm like, but the one guy that I wanted more than anybody because of his frame, and look, Ra Thomas, great. The other guys, great. Maybe even the kid from Missouri may have been the one I wanted more than anybody, but when I look at frame and body, Coach Jay, Dante Thornton's got it, man. He's got the frame.
Yeah, he's got the frame. He's got all the tools. Weirdly enough, it might be more just about fit with the coaching staff with him. He's got a lively personality, so we'll see how all that goes. But I don't, with all the talent coming in and what they got there, I'm not too worried about the wide receiver position. Heupel and them seem like they could put Gabe out there at wide receiver and get him open.
Wow, Gabe?
Yeah.
Gabe, how tall are you?
5'10".
Not happening. He ain't getting open, Coach Jay.
So I'm at Squirrel White size.
Taller than Squirrel White, but
he's got that. You got that Squirrel White speed, Gabe?
No,
not the Squirrel White speed. I'm pretty quick though. Hey, I'm pretty quick.
6'7", 40, 6'7".
I haven't measured it in a few years, so.
Nelson even said,
Yeah,
"What's your 40? What's your 40?"
I was gonna say a minute ago that other than the quarterback position, I think wide receiver is probably what Heupel and his history has been proven to develop. So I don't have too much doubt in that. But to daisy chain off of what Gabe said earlier, in addition to seeing who steps up, I'd like to see Princeton Fant and Jacob Warren have big games. I'd like to see some sneaky packages for them in this game because one, it's their last hurrah, so I'd love to see them have a great game. But two, I just think that's another element. You got the receivers, you got the wide receivers, you got the tight ends, and you got the running game, and then you got the potential of Joe running too. So with all those things combined in a sneaky way, I hope the offense has a great day.
I want to see Princeton Fant at
to the tight ends.
I want to see Princeton Fant at every single position on the football field at some point during the game. On defense, special
Safety?
teams.
You wanna see him at safety?
I want to see him kick a field goal.
Oh,
I want to see him. I want to see him kick. I want to see him kick off, and I want to see him return a kick. I think he'll somehow score a touchdown at every position if we.
You ever see those psychotic fans on Twitter that are like, gay for Joe Milton, gay for Cedric Gabe's gay for Princeton Fant, 100%. There's no questions asked.
There's no doubt.
That's I created a cover photo for this stream, and I'm like, Gabe's gonna love it because Princeton Fant's on it. I knew.
Has Jacob Warren said whether he's coming back or not? Has he said
he's not. I think he's saying it's up in the air. He's not made a statement one way or the other.
I don't think he's coming back.
I don't either, but he needs to, man. Like, why would you not? Like, that position is wide open. Why would you not come back?
I think Castles that was a big pickup. The kid from UC Davis.
You people that get to sit back and relax and do your homework, whereas me, it's like, oh, this kid committed, I got to make a video. And I'm like, I don't know how this kid is. And then all you other people come in and say, oh, NFL draft stock. Oh, yeah, you can do your homework. We'll see. We'll see how good he is, man. We'll see how good. I hope so. I still want Jacob Warren back. And I still think they need to add another tight end, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I really do.
Okay, that's the thing that I am. We've gotten some pretty good pickups in the portal. It's been a lackluster portal season so far for Tennessee. It just has, and I know there's a lot of time. There's a month or two. I know that, but a lot of guys have come and gone already, and there's been almost no activity for Tennessee. We've gotten 3 guys, and they're talented guys, and they're going to make an impact. But it's been a little lackluster for me. Like, we need another tight end. I'd like us to pick up another wide receiver. I'd like us to get a running back. Honestly, but nobody's going to come in and do this running back room where it's 3 guys already.
I don't know, man. That kid from South Carolina is interested.
Do you think they're so concerned with the defense that's why it's been mostly defensive players, not only with regular recruiting, but
we haven't even gotten one yet, right? It was the offensive.
You got the BYU linebacker.
Yeah, the linebacker. But I've not even heard any whispers on defensive guys that are interested. So that's why I'm saying, like, we were saying we have to be hot and heavy in the portal this offseason.
I'm telling you guys, the portal is not going as we expected. It's not going as we expected.
That's what I'm saying.
I think it's been way more slow, almost like high school recruiting of, I'm going to fill this out. Like, we're not taking a guy to take a guy. We're going to fill out the process. And I think this coaching staff feels confident with the kid from Oregon. I really do. I think they feel confident there. Can they add the running back from South Carolina? Because if so, that's it. Lloyd is going to come in and compete, and he's still interested. There's still conversations. They've got the offensive tackle from Miami that is still interested. This coaching staff is not going to take a guy to take a guy. And I know as fans we're like, take everybody. 5 stars in the Eric Gilbert's in the portal. Take him now. No, that's not what this coaching staff is going to do.
I want Jaheim Bell so badly.
Coach Jay, how much does chemistry impact a team and culture and fit versus just athletic ability, man?
To me, it's everything. I mean, don't get me wrong. You need both, right? Of course, you need athletic ability and talent and Jimmys and Joes and all that good stuff, but man, if you saw what happened when that team bought in when Heupel got here, right? That team had no business being as good as it was. They probably didn't have business being as good as they were this year, to be frank. I mean, they bought in. They were shown a process, and they were shown a proven way to win. And that's powerful on a football field. Beliefs, powerful. Playing hard for the guy next to you is powerful on a football field. It does amazing things for you, like creates giant momentum in games like LSU and gives you magic moments in Alabama when you don't quit and you get a last minute or last 13 seconds or whatever the heck it was drive right there. That is from the team believing in their process, period. That's why you got those wins.
And maybe is that another question to bring up? Is Tennessee not as active in the portal because this coaching staff is focused on guys that are going to be bought in, and they're not just looking for starting time. They're not just looking for playing time. Well, now, when they first got here, maybe they were looking for those guys, but now they're not. Is that why we're seeing less activity in the portal for Tennessee? Because a lot of the guys in the portal are just saying, well, screw this. I just want to go play somewhere, rather than saying, hey, I want to actually be into this program and buy into this program.
Yes, I think that's part of it, but I think it's also really directed. I mean, look at the O-linemen we're going after, right? I mean, even the big kid, was it Larry Johnson III or whatever?
Massive.
Texas,
massive. Yeah.
The Miami kid. Hey, Heupel knows where his bread is buttered, and it's in the run game, right? Everyone can talk about the sexy receiver, the sexy running back even, but if you can drive a truck through holes, it ain't going to matter. And Heupel's going to scheme up Gabe in the slot if that were the case when we're getting
Sign me
those
up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
and it's why you can kind of wait and play the long game a little bit more on defense, especially in your secondary. Because so what? People want to attack your secondary. They're playing your game if they're playing the fast game. You're
I'll toss
almost
it to Dauber.
inviting them in to play the type of game you're playing. And I think until Heupel gets all the kids he wants on campus, he's more than willing to do that. It seems to me.
Yeah, I'll toss this to Dauber real quick. Oh, sorry, I'm interrupting you.
Yeah, no, I got to bounce real quick, guys. I got to get out of these bright lights and
Go sleep.
Get to bed.
Hey,
like I said, I thought
real quick, Coach. Real quick, let me hit you up tomorrow. And what is today? I don't even know what day. I don't work, so I don't know what day it is. Tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. If we can, if you're free, we can probably do some recording Wednesday, Thursday, because my wife and kids are going to be out of town. I'm going to be home alone. I will get up, make a video, and I will jam out. I'll go to the gym, come back, and then we can jam out some videos. So if you're free the next couple of days, check the calendar, shoot me a message on Twitter, and if you're free, we'll make it happen. We're going to go live tomorrow at 7, so just let me know.
Okay, yeah, definitely Thursday. So
Thursday may be good because we don't have a live stream Thursday, so maybe we can knock some out Thursday.
Cool, perfect. I'll pop in later and get my score and all that good stuff.
All right.
Take care, guys. Go Big Orange. Go Vols.
All right. See
you,
you,
Coach. I was just going to say, and I'll toss it over to Dauber or Sammy P, but I think it's more about fit right now than it was last year, rather than just bodies.
Right.
That was really going to be my point.
I think it's a. Go ahead, Sammy.
Okay, thank you. Especially, this was actually going to lead to a question I was going to throw to the group. Look at the class. You see how it's a more heavy defensive class when we have
Much more so.
huge gaping holes we need to fill on defense just for the longest time, and how you saw like kind of the offense get filled a little bit with depth. You got running backs, offensive linemen, depth pieces, and then you got, heavy development. Possibly some people are going to start as freshmen next season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the crazy thing is. Go ahead.
If you look at the film, I have looked at a little bit of film thanks to Gabe telling me where I can look at the film. Look at some of the players we got. For example, look at I'm bad with names. Oh crap, where is he?
Just give me a position. I'll tell you the name.
The defensive end, the 5-star, the edge.
Oh, Caleb Herring.
Yes, Herring. Look at Herring. I went and looked
Or
at some of his
Gabriel.
film. This man is fast.
He's crazy.
This man
So is Shandavion
Reggie
Bradley.
White if he was slimmer.
Dude,
This man is Reggie White but slimmer.
I'm telling
At
y'all.
least in his highlights and film.
Dude,
He
the
might
mix
get-
of
he might go from looking like Reggie White to who was that piece of trash? He might go from Reggie White to Dean Lowry.
here's who I compare
What is
Caleb
happening?
Herring to. Caleb Herring is like Leonard Floyd. Do you remember Leonard Floyd when he played at Georgia? He looked like he was like 8 feet tall out there, and he was like a stick. But Lord, he was so good, and he plays I don't forget who he plays for in the NFL now. He's crazy good, and I'm just envisioning the future, the quartet of Joshua Josephs, James Pierce, Caleb Herring, and Shandavion Bradley. I mean, my God, not to mention David Hobbs as a hybrid on the inside, Elijah Herring as an outside linebacker coming off the edge as well. I mean, my gosh, these guys are crazy.
Dauber
Stacking
and
recruiting
Boogie.
classes.
Yes,
Stack
yes.
them. Class of 24 is huge. That's why I can't wait to break it down with Coach Jay. Go ahead, Dustin.
But Howard, let me say this. So you saw how this year's class was more heavy on defense. Do you believe that next year's class might be a little bit leaning more towards the offense?
No, keep stacking the defense, brother. Keep stacking defense. The portal, because you got to look at what they have on offense. They got the quarterback, and you got to recruit. You got to recruit a quarterback every class. You have to. That's what you got to do. The wide receivers are going to come. You can fill those needs through the portal. Tight ends, offensive line. No, keep building that defense at the high school level.
We need the centerpiece wide receiver in this next class, though. I will say Ryan Wingo is his name. His name is Ryan Wingo, and if we can get him, He will be our centerpiece wide receiver in this class, and then whether we get one or two more, one other guy, just add some depth in that wide receiver room. That's, I think, another need is just a centerpiece wide receiver. Can you
tell me about Wingo and who he's
Nathan
trending
Laycock.
to? Who's Wingo trending towards? Gabe, can you tell me?
Well, as of right now, Ryan Wingo on 247 Sports has a crystal ball to Tennessee. So
interesting.
Very interesting.
Do you know where you can find a video that would tell you that he was predicted to Tennessee?
Right here on YouTube. I don't know what
it's called. The Talkin VAWLS Network. It's called the Talkin VAWLS Network, Gabe. That's what it's called.
Well, I was trying to think of the URL because if you type in, www.youtube.com/ what is it?
Next,
is it?
Note to self: next time, throw that plug to Dauber because he knows this is the Talkin VAWLS.
No, I know what it is. For somebody that's still, it doesn't have the YouTube app or something, it's still using, Internet Explorer or Firefox or something.
I'm not plugging anybody to youtube.com/Snake and Boogie Show.
Okay, well, yeah, there you go.
That's why we got to say Talkin.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Can you not change that URL?
No, I can't. It's Snake and Boogie Show forever.
All right,
we're screwed forever, man. Forever.
Now I know.
Oh, forever.
I was gonna throw it up to you guys, Boogie and Dauber. Like, do you feel a little bit of excitement for the defensive side? Do you remember the good old days when that was just like not a problem? And then furthermore, can you imagine an elite defense again and this offense? Like, best of both worlds.
Yeah, it'd be nuts to. You've seen this team, and I think Coach Jay talked about it earlier. This team overachieved last year, and they overachieved this year. And based off of the success of the offense, when that defense catches up, when that defense is playing at a level that is, even just on the coattails of how elite this offense is, that's going to be a scary good team. But to me, I think it's a good problem to have in year two, to finish up year two, and you have the luxury to be a little bit selective at who you're going after in the portal. You are, I think, looking at it as we're not trying to overhaul and flip a team, and we're trying to fill pieces of this puzzle. They are looking for specific needs. They're not just going after anybody and everybody that has 4 or 5 stars attached to their name. And I think it is, like we talked about earlier, I think it has to do with fit, and it has to do with culture, and, will they come in and mesh with what's going on right now in Knoxville? Because that's an important part of it too. But it's, I said it earlier. To me, this game Friday and moving forward into 2023 and beyond, it's this. I said it when Coach Heupel was hired. This team is going to score the points. This offense is schemed and designed to score points. Can the defense do enough? And the direction of recruiting this year and all of that has shifted to the defense because of, I think, the staff recognizes that, and they see, well, we are excelling on the offensive side of the ball. We are getting it done there. We need to step up a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball. And
but even still, you talk about like player evaluation. Like Nathan Laycock was a 3-star, right? Yeah. And now he's like a highly touted 4-star. Like Nathan Laycock is a dude that is boosting your recruiting rankings, and we've seen that across the board. Even with David Hobbs, got boosted. Anybody Rodney Garner wants to go after, I'm good with, man. And I've beat it into the ground, and it's wink. Do I need to start? I'm twitching again. Do I need to start winking at you? I have it on good authority. Good authority. People that pay players to play at Tennessee. Wink, wink. Good authority that this coaching staff wants to pay. They want to pay players that can protect the quarterback and get after the quarterback and can play quarterback. That is what Spire Sports Group wants to do. That's the reality. That's why when I tell you guys, they get it. They get it. They understand, because that's the game of football. Protect the quarterback, get after the quarterback, and have a quarterback. And Wayne said it in the chat when we were talking about all this other stuff. The offensive line is crucial. Like, it's not just about defense next year. You got to be able to recruit the offensive line. And let me tell you guys, I know, I understand. Spire Sports Group gets it, and I don't plug them enough. There's a link in the description below where if you want to give to Spire Sports Group, they kick a little bit of money our way, and then like 90% of it goes to athletes. So if you want to support Spire Sports Group, they get it. They understand. They are in constant communication with Josh Heupel. They understand. They know what he wants. TriStar, Jordan says, if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's underscore. How long have we been live? _star Tennessee. You can go follow Jordan on Twitter right there. Darius for $20. That is not cheap. Thank you, Darius. We appreciate it. Half is because Boogie is the only person I've known to read my last name correctly the first time seeing it. LOL. Second half is for my entry fee I missed earlier. Hashtag Go Big Orange. Yeah, there's an entry fee, and I'm still waiting on 153 people to drop their entry fee. But thank you. And I've already forgot. Did I say Darius Dunham? Did I say Dunham? I'm pretty good at pronouncing people's names. I feel like I can guess at them. And if I don't know, I ask Dauber to do it, and he botches them, and then I come out looking clean. So thank you, Darius, for the $20. That ain't cheap. We appreciate it, buddy. Dan Yoder for $5. That ain't cheap. Appreciate $5. $5 goes a long way. We appreciate it, Dan. Milton for $3.50. GBO. I don't know if he's going to throw for $3.50. But we appreciate the super chat.
I'd love it.
Damn.
Possible.
Get in there, Dustin. You got a point. I
got one last topic to throw out to the group tonight. Did you guys see? I forget what network it was. Some random YouTube channel that I ran across of. Did you guys speaking of Spire a minute ago? Did you see where I think it's Grant Firking, just kind of an oddball player, is supposedly going to be working for them like right after the Orange Bowl starts, and that on three.
Yes.
And so basically, from what I gathered, was that we're basically going to have a first-time, hands-on, real experienced player that's already been negotiating with other players, not necessarily speaking to recruit to Tennessee, but he's going to have a lot of first-hand experience on the front lines of NIL, which apparently Tennessee was like one of the first programs to start a program in the country. So I thought that was huge.
It's pretty cool to see that. I mean, I've said for a while that Tennessee got really ahead of the game on NIL, and they did it. They started from the beginning saying we're going to do this right, and they have, and it's going to pay dividends for this program. You are going to see it. It will pay dividends. But yes, I believe it's something like the director of player communication or something like that for On3 NIL, which is pretty cool. He had been involved with them as a player already, but now after he's graduated, he's got that job. And I've seen some people talking like, oh, we're gonna have an inside guy. He will get fired very quickly if he colludes to get people to Tennessee. But
that dude was a millionaire while he was on Tennessee's roster as a walk-on.
Yeah, who's to say that? Who's to say that? A few personal conversations won't happen, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, I really enjoyed my time. It's pretty cool. Maybe you should check it out." I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
But pretty cool. It is pretty cool to see him succeed like that and to have that get put in that business.
Right. I guess my point was it's better to have someone involved on the front lines than it would be. I think if we'd had the old administration, we would be so far behind. NIL,
absolutely.
It would be ridiculous.
It was a good old boys club. It was a good old boys club versus the future of college football.
Philip Fulmer would still be denying NIL's existence.
The easiest way to give them money is through McDonald's bags. There is a problem.
Yeah.
How long did we dwell through that?
Philip Fulmer would be saying NIL isn't real. NIL isn't real. We don't believe in NIL here at the University of Tennessee.
But do you guys not think we backed into this? We backed into this, man. We backed into it. We thought Jeremy Pruitt was the guy, and we backed into Danny White and Josh Heupel. And, God bless Mike Leach's soul. I would have loved to have Mike Leach in Tennessee. I don't think it would have ever worked out. It would have been fun.
No, but He would have been the fan favorite coach that we never want to see get fired unless it's we're losing 56-0 against.
Yes,
Florida.
we would have never had the success that we've already had under Josh Heupel. Look, we're an hour and a half into this thing. We're gonna wrap up the fan call-in show. I love this show. It's so much fun. Sammy P's taking over.
Yes, yes, this is how it rises. Yes, I'm taking over the Talkin VAWLS Network now. So, about NIL. So I feel like this program here is kind of what they're going to do is they're going to have people that, in the recruiting class that fit, and they're going to pay them accordingly on NIL. Not Tennessee paying them, but they're going to Spire's going to do what they can do and all that. And I don't feel like we're going to go with a Texas A&M or a Miami scenario where we're just throwing money at every single 5-star with a pulse.
Definitely
it's going to be, do you fit this offense, this defense, and this special teams unit?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they've shown that already, in the classes they brought in. They're not pulling in these Texas A&M classes that are just Texas A&M, Miami classes that are just like
Francis Mangoa. Facts. I'm not even allegedly. I'm not even winking at you guys. It's freaking facts, man. It's facts. Francis Mangoa got paid a certain amount of money. I've told some people what it was.
I have a message about that.
Yeah, shut up, Sammy P. And Tennessee didn't want to match that. And it is what it is, man. That's the reality of the situation. They wanted to spend that. Maybe it was $5 million on other people. It is what it is, man.
Priorities.
It is what it is. Yes. Priorities is the key. Spire Sports Group gets it. Go support them in the description below. Go check out the merchandise. If you want to roll with Boogie and Dauber, if you want us to rule this country in 2024, go vote for us. Go pick up the merchandise. Join the channel. Hit the join button down below. It's 99 cents a month. 19,000 subscribers. If you guys hit join, I can't quit now. I can't sell that anymore because I've already quit. I'm just riding or dying with you guys. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, it's going to be me, Dauber, maybe Gabe, maybe Xavier. JP called in. I don't know. He quit his job. Whatever. He's not going to be here. We'll have a crew here ready to break down the Tennessee Clemson game. Gabe's going to go do his homework, and he'll be ready to go tomorrow night. So
maybe.
Come hang out tomorrow night. We'll do a tailgate show Friday, an hour before kickoff. We'll go live immediately following the game. Look, we got a big-time charity stream coming up. I've not dialed it in yet, but I'm thinking Wednesday the 4th. Wednesday the 4th at 7. Not 100%, but I'll let you guys know. We're going to have Eric Kane, Ben McKee, the A to Z Sports guys. Big Vol Daddy's going to be on here. I may even have a special guest. We will see what happens, but the bottom line is we're going to raise money for charity, so make sure you save a little money, be ready to go for that. We're going to do a watch party. Hey, that's the thing. We got a membership tier for watch party enthusiasts. We're going to watch the national championship game live on air. It may just be me, Dauber, and Gabe. I don't know. John Hill is a watch party enthusiast, and Seth is a watch party enthusiast. That's it. That's the only two people that have signed up for that tier. So they are guaranteed if they want to come on, they can come on. We're going to bring you more watch parties, more content, more live streams, more videos. Thank you guys. For Dauber, for Gabe, for Sammy P, for Dustin, my name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. See you guys tomorrow night. Go. See, I'm looking for the outro. Big. I still don't see it. Orange.